What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Devin, and I hope that you will consider sticking around and subscribing. And if you're not new, as always, welcome back. You know I love you. So today's video is going to be on this look right here. This look was definitely inspired by like a smoky, sultry summer night out on the town. Like a slightly fancier summer night, if you will. You're going to a nice dinner, but it's still warm out. You've got a beautiful dress that you want to wear and you want to pair it with a nice beautiful bronzy smoky eye. That is what the inspiration was for this today. So that being said, what better palette to use than the Natasha Denona Bronze Palette? So I semi-recently added this guy to my collection. A friend of mine had gotten me a Sephora gift card for doing her makeup and I was like, I'm getting this. But today's tutorial is going to be focused really on the eyes, and then I also did do the lips. I did also film what I did on my complexion today, but that is coming in a separate video talking about kind of heat proofing your makeup for the summertime. So stay tuned for that, but today it's all about the eyes. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this sultry, smoky, warm summer night look, let's get right into it. All right, you guys, let's get it going. I am very excited to be using this palette today. I have used this for a couple of just like quick looks, but this will really be my first time doing like a full glam look with this palette. So I have a little bit of this on already, but before we get started, I'm gonna put a little bit of this NYX Fat Lip Drip Oil. I'm not sure like in which order to say these words. Lip drip, fat oil, fat lip drip oil, not really sure. This is a fairly new thing. This is in the shade Follow Back, and I just wanted to mention this because I have been obsessed with this. The reason that I bought this particular color was because it reminded me of the original Fenty Glow gloss. It definitely has a different like consistency than the Fenty one, but that's what this really reminds me of, and I have been really loving this. So I just want to make sure I have something on my lips that's going to keep them nice and hydrated as we're working, so that by the time we get to doing lipstick at the end, they're nice and prepped and ready to go. So first I am just going to comb through my brows. So nothing crazy here. I'm just going to use my NYX Micro Brow Pencil and I'm going to fill these in. Okay, next I am just going to get a little bit of concealer on the back of my hand. Actually, that was kind of a lot of it, but that one's going to be a little too light, so I'm just going to mix it. And I'm picking this up on a Fox 3 brush from the Sigma and Brianna Fox collab. I recently got my hands on this brush set and the Kristen Dominique brush set, and I am obsessed. I love them. This brush has, you know, a nice flat edge, so I am just going to use that to precisely clean up underneath my brow so we get a nice clean line to start with. All right, let's get some P. Louise Rumor 2 on the back of my hand and just picking that up on a brush and applying that to, oh, nope, wait. Take my eye tape first. And I am just gonna follow the natural line of my eye to place the tapes. Close my eye because it's a little different when your eye is open versus shut. And there's really no trick to placing these tapes other than just kind of eyeballing it, but I do on myself and on clients like to, you know, play around with it, adjust it if I need to, and make sure that I have the angle correct on both eyes, because obviously you want to make sure that they look even and one eye isn't like cut up a lot higher than the other. So, okay, now I'm going to take my brush and blend out my primer all over the eyelid. Okay, so there's not really a color to set down my primer in this palette, so I'm just going to take a little bit of my setting powder. This is the ColourPop No Filter Loose Setting Powder in the shade Peach. So just getting a little bit of that on a fluffy brush and setting down my primer so that it's not tacky, it's nice and smooth for when we start blending over top. So I am going to go into the shade Sundown to start, and this is on a Fox 1 brush. And I'm going to start working that into the outer corner. And then once I've got a little bit of that initial product off of my brush, I also am going to start running this up through the crease as well. This is honestly like more pigmented than I was expecting. Truthfully, I have the Natasha Denona Glam palette in my kit, in like my bridal kit, but I have not really worked with Natasha Denona shadows very much. This bronze one is the only palette that I have in my personal collection, so I definitely do need to get used to the formula and play with the formula a little bit more. But again, I want to concentrate more of the depth of that color in the outer corner, and then once some of that product is off the brush, just using the fluffiness of the brush to work the remaining pigment up through the crease. Okay, and then I'm going to take that same brush and I'm actually just going to come right down into the shade Beach. So I didn't put any more of the first shade on there, Sundown, but I want to take this lighter shade and run it through the crease as well, just to make sure we've got a nice gradient going up here. Again, if you've watched my videos before, I've talked about this. I talk about this every time I do my eyeshadow. I have a big, thick brow bone here, so I have a lot of blending space, and therefore I like to take my eyeshadow up pretty high. You definitely want to tailor this to your own eye shape, so if you don't have too much space there, you might want to keep the shadow down a little bit more, or if you like to just keep your eyeshadow tight in general and not have so much of it blown out, you can definitely work it to whatever your personal preferences are. This is just what I like to do, again, because I have so much space with my orbital bone right here. Okay, and then I'm just taking a clean blending brush and working in the inner corner, and again throughout the crease here. I just really want this to be nice and smooth. So this is just me being a little bit obsessive about my blending, but sometimes there's nothing like a clean blending brush to just go through and add a little magic to your look. If you do this, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't do this, try it, and then you will also know what I'm talking about. Okay, next I want to start building up the depth in the outer corner a little bit. So I'm going to come into the shade Suntan, and I'm getting this on my Fox 2 brush. This one's just a little bit smaller. It's still a fluffy brush, but it's just a little bit smaller than that Fox 1 brush. So it's going to help us get a little bit more precise. And again, I am going to really focus on building this up in the outer corner. And I am also using the tip of the brush to wiggle it slightly through the crease, but I definitely don't want to take this color up as high as the first two colors we used. So I am being careful to just kind of take that right here, like just barely gliding it over where my bone starts right here in the crease. And then one more time, maybe taking that clean brush and going through the crease. Again, just to avoid bringing that darker color up too much, but still making sure we're blending the edges and we don't have any harsh lines between the colors. Okay, let's do the lid. So I am gonna come into this shade right here called True Bronze. This is a JH41. Not my favorite brush for shimmers, but I really need to wash my personal brush collection. I am constantly washing my brushes that I use on clients, so I am a little bit slacking in the department of washing my own brushes. I just have so many that I can get away with it until eventually they're all dirty and I'm like, crap. Anyway, I'm gonna take this shade True Bronze and I am going to tap that all over the inner portion of my lid. You could also use your finger for this, but I have nails today, so I'm going to do my best to get the effect that I want with a brush. Oh yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay, moving on to eyeliner. I am going to take my Mario Master Mattes liquid liner in the shade Super Black. I've been really liking this, so if you watched my last eye tutorial on my signature bridal look, you will have seen me do this. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I am going to take this liquid eyeliner and I'm going to bring it about 2/3 of the way across my eyelid. So starting really thin in the inner corner and then bringing it out. Yeah, I honestly really like this eyeliner. I'm not sure off the top of my head if it's supposed to be waterproof, but I feel like I was able to do that really quickly and easily without having to fight with it too much. So definitely check that one out. Okay, so for the outer third, I am going to take a black eyeliner. This is the Too Faced Killer Liner in the shade Killer Black. Another eyeliner that I have been really loving. And I am going to use that to go the rest of the way. And the reason that I do this is because I like to smoke out my liner. So taking an eyeliner like this for the very outer corner helps to just be able to smudge and connect that line so that it can be precise on the inner corner, but then still smudgy on the outer corner. I find that if I take the liquid eyeliner all the way out and then try to smudge it, the liquid eyeliner doesn't blend as well with the dark eyeshadow that I'm trying to use to get that effect, if that makes sense. So I like to do it this way, and I find that that helps. Okay, so now I really want to start to build up that smokiness in the outer corner. So I'm going to take a little brush like this. This is from the BH Cosmetics Weekend Vibes collection. It's the number 6, but just anything that's thin like this where you can get a little bit more precise but still fluffy enough to where you can smoke it out. So I am going to come into the shade Magma first, and I am going to start building this up in the outer corner to give us a little bit more depth. So I'm packing this into the outer corner. I'm also kind of going along the edge of the tapes to build a little bit of that smoky wing. And then again, I'm gonna take my clean blending brush. It's not super clean anymore, but no extra product on it. And I'm just going to blend through the crease a little bit to make sure we don't have any harsh lines as we are continuing to build up the outer corner. And then I'm going to take a different brush. So this is the number 7 from the BH Weekend Vibes. It's got a little bit more of an angle to it. And I am going to go into this shade Deep Dive. Now I think that this is technically a cream shade. I was watching another video and I thought that I heard, I forget who I was watching, but I thought somebody mentioned that this was like a cream to powder formula or something like that. Don't quote me on it, but I just want to keep that in mind as I'm using it, just in case it does anything unexpected. So I am going to use that in the outer corner, and I'm going to come right along the tape. Yeah, it does feel like it's taking a second to like build up. I think maybe it's just a difference in formula. But anyway, I am going to concentrate this really close to where we had the eyeliner. This is, you know, pretty much a black shade, so I don't want to take this up too far. But that being said, I still do want to get that nice smoky eyeliner effect. So this is where the tape is your best friend as a guide. So I am just hugging this line along the tape here and blending, and I'm really not worried about making too much of a mess all over the tape, because once we take it off, it's going to be a nice, clean, sharp edge to give us that smoky wing effect. Okay, I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that shade Magma. And then I think I actually want to extend the shimmer a little bit here. So I'm going to come over to this shade High Degree. I'm using it on that same JH41 that we put the other shimmer on, but I just want to put a little bit of that here to bring everything together, like bring a little bit of shimmer that kind of matches the outer corner to the inner corner. This is kind of an optional step, but I like to do this just for a little extra something, you know? Okay, so now I kind of like to look at it, see what we're working with, build up the crease a little bit more if I want to. Just make sure everything that is blended, because this is a very glam, dramatic look. So I want to make sure that it is clean looking even though it's a lot of eyeshadow. And you guys will see once I take these tapes off that it's going to look a lot cleaner once I do that. So with that being said, time for the big reveal. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and do my face makeup. I actually am gonna film a separate video for the Complexion talking all about long-lasting, mattifying, kind of like heat-resistant makeup for the summer, all with affordable products. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna go do my face makeup, film that, and I will be right back to finish up the eyes. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and finish off this eye look. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take my black eyeliner and line my waterline. And then I'm gonna go into the shade Suntan, and we're just gonna smoke out the lower lash line a little bit with that. So again, have it on a little brush like this. This is from another BH set. It's from their ice cream shop collection from a couple years ago. But just anything that will allow you to get close to the lower lash line. So I'm gonna go under here and just pack it on a little bit. And then once I packed it on, I am going to start blending it out. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to take a little bit of this shade Silk, and I'm going to use that for some brightness in the inner corner, because this look definitely is pretty intense, so I feel like I want a little bit of brightness in here. Okay, let's get some mascara on to prep for lashes. So I am just going to use my Essence Lash Princess. This is a waterproof. For lashes today, I'm going to use Kiss Pompadour because I really liked the way that they looked in my last look, so I'm going to use them again. Plus, they're already trimmed to my eyes, so I don't have to trim a new pair, which is also a plus. All right, you guys, let's throw on a quick lip, and then I think we will be done with this look. So I'm going to use the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Field Day to line my lips. Okay, next I'm going to go in with a lipstick from e.l.f. This is from their recent lipstick collection that they launched. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it was, but this is in the shade No Doubt. So I'm hoping this kind of lightens it up a bit. Yeah. Okay, pretty. I feel like this is a pretty standard Devon look. All right, you guys, here we are with the finished look. What do we think? I have to be honest, I have been staring at it a bunch. I think it's mostly the skin. You can't tell on camera. In person, my foundation just looks slightly more yellow in the undertone than it should to kind of match the tan that I have going on. I think it's just me being nitpicky, but it's kind of throwing off the whole look for me a little bit. But honestly, I really do like this. Again, for the summer, something just glam and bronzy and smoky and sultry. I just love that for like a summer night makeup look. So I hope you guys like it too. Definitely not a light makeup look, like definitely not a light, fresh summer makeup look by any means. But if you want to look like that, go watch my fresh and glowy spring makeup tutorial. That is a lot more that speed than this look. But just something about a bronzy, warm, full glam moment for me that really makes me happy. So I overall am quite happy with the way that this look turned out. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Definitely let me know if you want to see more looks with this Natasha Denona Bronze Palette. I am so happy that I own this. I stared at it for years. Maybe not years, but for a long time. I did not buy this when it first came out. I only recently added this to my collection, and I am very, very happy that I did. I am resisting the temptation to add it to my kit, because whenever I get new makeup, especially palettes, I'm like, oh, I should put this in my kit. But I'm like, you know, I kind of just want to keep this one to myself. You know, I have enough eyeshadow in my kit. But definitely let me know if you want to see more looks with that. If you have made it this far in the video and you have not already subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button down below before you go so you don't miss any future uploads from me. You can also follow me on Instagram in 2 places. One at DevDevGreg, so that's more of my personal Instagram. Honestly, not a ton of makeup related stuff on there right now. I've been focusing a little bit more on YouTube and on my professional Instagram, which is at Glam by Devin Gregorio, which is all of my client work and some looks that I do on myself as well. So 2 places that you can find me on Instagram if you're interested. I really am not active on TikTok, so if you look me up on TikTok, you're not going to find very much. Maybe one day. But anyway, with all of that being said, thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in my next one. Mwah. Love you. Bye.